Welcome to Little Bracket of Horrors, the pod that puts a fight in fright.
You have created a monster and it will destroy you. It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! The monster has been seen in the hills terrorizing the mountainside.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Derek.
I'm Shelly.
And we are covering Maniac today, which was a viewer submission. But our friend Jason N., unfortunately, he's unable to join us for this recording, but he did type out his thoughts and send them our way. So we'll be including those in the recording later before we get into Voices from Beyond. But Shelly, let's play a little catch-up. Watch anything scary or anything scary happen?
We watched Weapons again, or I watched it again.
Oh,
Sherry
cool.
watched it for the first time. So that was nice to go through that again. Definitely, I think it's better the second time around.
Okay, cool.
So I don't know if I've watched anything else. There's been scary movies here and there. Oh, scary happenings. I went to a few haunted houses over the weekend. Did a Screamageddon. Did a little local haunt that benefits charity called House on the Hill here in Tarpon.
Oh, nice.
And then did Busch Gardens on Saturday. So last full weekend of haunted houses for me. And then it's off to Spooky Empire this weekend.
That's right. Yeah. That's exciting. Spooky coming up this weekend. We'll be there for a little bit Saturday. But
fun.
We'll be sure to stop by, say hi to the crew.
I was gonna say, don't find me. No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as I'm sure people can tell, we are again remote recording with each other, so it'll be a while since we've seen each other. So it'll be nice to see you this weekend.
Yes, I have Carrie's poncho. No.
Oh, you her dollar store poncho?
I guess so. Maybe is that where she got it?
Yeah, most likely. Most likely.
She wants it back though, right?
Sure, why not? I don't know. You have to text her. I don't want to speak for her. But anything else besides those happenings?
Not for me. How about you?
Cool. I've actually, the last couple times we've recorded episodes, I've just been too busy, and I think I've talked about Weapons like 3 times in a row. But I've actually been a pretty busy boy the last 2 weeks since we recorded. So I did with watching Maniac. I knew there was a remake, so I wanted to check it out, and I thought it was a decent enough attempt. It's got Elijah Wood as Frank, which is odd, but also a ton of like POV like shots, like his perspective and all that. But they also, I guess, took some liberties with the story. But overall, I thought it was worth checking out if people love the original and they want to see like a different take on it. Alexander Aja, the guy that did High Tension, which we covered the first season, he directed it, and it was okay. It wasn't trash, but it wasn't amazing.
Yeah, I watched it too, actually.
Oh, cool, nice.
Yeah, I actually like it better than the original.
Okay.
So I just thought they dove more into the story than the original does,
Mm-hmm.
and Quinlan said it. I have to agree. Elijah Wood has a much better characteristics to be like a desirable man for these women than the original actor from the version we are reviewing today. So I just I found it overall a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah, nice. I like it. I watched. I know I alluded to it last episode, but I did watch Bring Her Back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it was good. And I don't want to say too much because it's a new movie. But I'll just say that the gaslighting in it is infuriating, and I'll leave it at that. I won't say what about or anything. I'll just say a general comment. But I thought it was pretty good. I did enjoy myself watching that. And then I started back up my movie club at work with a couple of buddies, and the last movie we watched for that was VHS Halloween, which obviously the VHS series, so many movies, some better than others. And I actually have to say I rather enjoyed this last one, Halloween. All the different shorts I thought were really good. They all hit the Halloween theme like perfectly, and it's a high recommend for me. It may be on my list for the end of the year. So I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I would highly recommend it.
I've watched a couple of the VHSs.
Yeah,
They were getting progressively
worse.
Unbearable, so we
Yes.
kind of stopped in the middle of the last one we were watching.
Have you
But
seen? Have you seen? I think it was the last one I watched before this was Viral. Did you see that one?
I think so. I think we were up to like, I don't know, it was like 80s or something.
Yeah,
I don't know, it was weird or something.
yeah.
But
I thought Viral was dog shit. And,
the,
but I did enjoy this Halloween one. I thought it was really cool. So if you feel like trying to stomach it, go ahead and try it out. But yeah, those are
I
my.
don't feel like stomaching
Yeah,
anything
that's
right
true.
now. No.
Yeah, we got enough stomach issues. We don't need to stomach
Bleh.
anymore. Yeah. Also, I just wanted to make a note at the top of this episode with our YouTube page a while back. We had one of our Little Ian of Horrors episodes pulled off YouTube for violating their community guidelines, I guess. And this was Ian's episode on Five Nights at Freddy's. And typically, when I upload these episodes, only at least Ian's episodes only, I mark them for kids because he's a kid and he's talking about kid appropriate horror movies. But I guess that's a fault of mine because I think on the Five Nights at Freddy episode, I'm pretty sure they talked about decapitation. So they probably flagged it for that and took it off. And I tried to appeal it, and they gave me the big red nope. Doesn't matter. So I did re-upload it, and I made sure it was marked for adults. So if anybody wants to go check out Ian's episode from like last year on the original Five Nights at Freddy's, it is back up on YouTube. So I just wanted to shout that out real quick at the beginning of the episode. So before I got pulled from YouTube, Ian got pulled for YouTube. So there you go.
There you go. Did you like bringing her back?
Yeah, I did.
But I was going to say, that was the first movie in a long while where I actually got physically grossed out. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if I talked about watching it or not, but like,
Are you talking about what the lady was doing to the teenage son?
No,
By like framing him for
obviously.
Yeah, she was framing him for things. I know.
No.
I wanted to punch her in the face.
No, what grossed me out was the little kid when he kind of went manic and like was eating the wood.
Oh,
and I can't handle teeth stuff to begin with, and I literally was like I could not. We had to pause it. I had to walk away for a minute. I was jumping out of my skin.
Yeah, it was. I think we're seasoned. We've seen a lot of things. That was a difficult moment, to say the least. I think I was watching it on my phone, and I still was like, "Oh my god!" I had to put the phone down for a second. I was like, "No!" I was like, "Stop!" And he was doing it for so long. I was like, "Stop doing that! Get the knife out of your mouth. Bad. Get your mouth off of the fucking table." It was killing me. Oh, and the sounds. Ugh. That was rough.
That
was
bad.
So rough. Ugh. Anyways, did you enjoy it overall, or were you just were you grossed out by that a bit?
People have been like saying like, that versus Talk to Me, because that was the same
the same
writer directors.
Yep.
I thought I heard some people grumbling about the ending to bring her back. I actually didn't hate the ending. I liked how it kind of resolved itself. So
yeah, it was tied up.
I overall liked it.
Yeah. No, I think between the two, Talk to Me and Bring Her Back, I'm more of a fan of Bring Her Back.
The way Talk to Me ended, it was like, what?
Yeah, it was a conundrum. People loved Talk to Me when it came out, and they were raving about it, and I didn't get the hype. I didn't get the hype for Talk to Me. So I would more understand if there's hype behind Bring Her Back. But it doesn't seem to be the case. Not as many people are talking about Bring Her Back, but I think it's a better film of the two for sure.
Yeah, it's very good.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get on into talking about Maniac. So first section is Dig Up the Bones. And this is where I introduced the movie and gave a brief summary. So Maniac is a 1980 American psychological slasher film released on January 30th, 1980. Directed by William Lustig. Other credits include Maniac Cop, Uncle Sam, and Vigilante. And our director also made a cameo in this film. He played the hotel manager, Al. Moving on, we got Joe Spinell, who wrote the film. But he also played Frank Zito in it, so he's mostly known for his acting roles, so I'll just leave those credits for later. Moving on, we have music by Jay Chataway. Other credits include Silver Bullet, The Ambulance, and a bunch of Star Trek series through the 90s. And moving on to cinematography, we have Robert Lindsay. Other credits include My Little Girl, A Night to Dismember, A Night to Dismember, and The Prowler. Special effects by our favorite, Tom Savini. He's been included in all the movies we love, like Friday the 13th, The Burning, Day of the Dead. Ton of special effects credits that we all are aware of. Getting to our cast. Starring Joe Spinell as Frank Zito. Other credits include Cruising, The Godfather Part 2, and The Undertaker. Caroline Munro as Anna. Other credits include Howl of the Devil, Slaughter High, and she starred as the woman journalist in the Adam Ant video, Goody Two Shoes. Abigail Clayton as Rita. Other credits include mostly adult films such as Dixie, Cave Woman, and Hot Cookies. Then we have Kelly Piper as Nurse. Other credits include Vice Squad, Reckless, and Rawhead Rex. We got Rita Montone as the hooker. Other credits include Street Hunter, The Children, and Blood-Sucking Freaks. Then we have Hyla Morrow as Disco Girl. Other credits include Hostage, Vigilante, and The Death Collector. And finally, we have Tom Savini starring as Disco Boy. Other acting credits include From Dusk Till Dawn, Planet Terror, and Queens of the Dead. Moving on into production companies, we have Magnum Motion Pictures, Inc., distributed by Analysis Film Releasing Corporation. Sequels, prequels, we have a remake, which we talked about in the beginning. 2012, Alexandre Aja, Elijah Wood as Frank. I think we both recommend checking it out. And then there was a short that was shot in 1986 called Maniac 2, Mr. Robbie, that was about a children's television show host who murders abusive parents. It was done originally to raise funds for a proper sequel, but with the death of Joe Spinell, who was writing it in 1989, the full length was never shot. Moving on to our budget, $350,000. And I don't trust this, but it's the number I found on the internets, but it says box office was $4.5 million. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What?
That's what it says, Wikipedia. And then I went to the numbers.com, which is where I got some information last year on some movies. It said $4.5 million. I was like, that makes zero sense.
Especially in the year, like, I don't know, movies just didn't perform as high back in the day, especially low budget like this.
And that's what I was like.
Not even low budget, but low quality like this.
Yeah, and I know it was on the radar. I mean, Siskel and Ebert, one of them, I forget who, but they walked out. I think it's one of my fun facts, and they like trashed it and shit. And there was people picketing and you know, were against this movie, but I just thought that number was super high, and it blew my mind. I was like, 4.5 million. Then
Yeah.
How did they struggle to make a second one if it made 4.5? So,
yeah.
Anyways, I put a big asterisk next to that. I'm not sure about that number. But moving on into our Rotten Tomatoes score, we have a 45% on the tomato meter and then a 58% on the audience popcorn meter. All right, moving on into our movie synopsis. Frank Zito, a mama-obsessed serial killer, stalks the streets of New York City and scalps his victims for his collection of mannequins. After meeting a beautiful photographer, Anna, the darkness seems to subside, but soon things turn to a violent and nightmarish conclusion. Initial reactions to landing on it. Jason, obviously, I'm sure, is a fan of it. He gave it to us to cover. But Shelly, how did you feel we landed on it last week? And I know you referenced the breathing.
Yes, I had previously watched this back in the day during like a movie challenge or something like that, and I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
So, but I turned it on again.
There you go.
I did it.
Playing the part, playing the game that
But
we've created and signed up for.
exactly.
So I only recently watched this movie, probably a couple years back, and it came on my radar because one of my favorite podcasts is Gag Me with a Chainsaw, and they just cover strictly 80s slashers, and this was pulled for their episode. And I always knew of the cover. I've seen it 1,001 times, and I knew already of the shotgun scene. I was intrigued when I watched it for the first time, and after getting through it, it became a favorite of my slasher films to watch. So yeah, when Jason gave it to us, we landed on it. I was excited to talk about it. All right, let's get into Feasting Fiends. This is where we get into the topics of our pros, cons, characters, dialogue, and our favorite kills / scares. So, Shelly, take it away for your pros.
Yeah, I don't have a ton. I think the acting overall is not bad for where most of these actors came from, which I'm pretty sure was the porn industry.
Yep,
So,
a good chunk of them. Yep, that is correct.
Being that that's where they all kind of got their start, you can't fault the acting for what they are trained in.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my other pro is it is gory, and I do love that. The practical effects, it's the 1980s Tom Savini effects. You just really can't beat the amount of blood and gore that he uses, and the realism of the scalpings. You gotta enjoy that ride through that. So, they just don't make gore and effects like that as they used to. So I, of course, love that it's gory, and unfortunately, those are my two pros.
No, that is good. Trust me,
I would love to discuss longer, but yeah.
No, you got what you got. I got some meaty stuff for pros, so we'll be good. And Jason gave us like 3 paragraphs, which is essentially all pros, so don't worry about it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, we're covered. But I'll jump in with mine. Right off the bat, the prologue scene on the beach I thought was an awesome kickoff to this film, because brutality right from the jump, and it showed that they were not going to hold back on what they would show us. And plus, right after that, I love the jump to Frank waking up and screaming in his room, and his eyes were being highlighted by the light and stuff. And I thought it was a very intense opening, and it wasn't pulling any punches. And I think it was a good, hey, this is what you're signing up for, just a heads up. So I love the beginning of it. And just like you said, the effects work, Savini, his work I think was second to none. When he isn't shackled and made to try to work in a film that is like chasing a rating like he was in Friday the 13th, you get something like where we get to sit in these shots where we have this blood trickling down, or these heads exploding or being scalped or whatever it is. So when he is unshackled and allowed to just create, we get something like Maniac, where we get all these crazy moments with the effects work. So props to the filmmakers for letting him do everything they did in this movie, and props obviously to Tom Savini for his craftsmanship and how amazing everything looks. So, and I will say, and I said this about Scream, and I'm not saying that it does it as well as Scream, but for something with a low budget, I'll recognize the attempt and I'll give it its kudos. But to me, this film can be viewed successfully on two different ways. On the surface, you have a great slasher where this brute is just like milling around New York City, taking people out indiscriminately, and that's all fun. But if you want, you can really sink your teeth into this and go into like the psychological journey of Frank with all of his mommy trauma and abandonment issues. And I think they're both enjoyable aspects of this film for me. And yeah, I appreciate that part of it. And lastly, just like a little note is I think the music slaps. Jay Chataway, it's a quintessential 80s slasher vibe, and a lot of it has to do with the musical cues and a little synth stuff, and I think the music was a great accompaniment to the visuals. So, yeah, those were my pros. Moving on, let's get to cons. Shelly, let's hear it.
Yeah, obviously the heavy breathing,
Yeah.
which I am guilty of. You may hear it. I try to mute my phone when I'm not talking. I am a heavy breather, so I understand being a heavy breather. But when you're in that like POV of him, and that's like all you can, and it's not just heavy breathing. It's like slurping. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. It's like I don't know what he's doing, but that bundled in with the mommy issues.
Mhm.
Not for nothing. I know you found that enjoyable part of the storytelling, but maybe it's different backgrounds. Not to say like I wouldn't enjoy a movie that has those kind of things, but like I have a solid family background, whereas some people don't, and maybe that's why like you feel like relatable to maybe some of those things, but I don't know.
That's
I'm
a
not
hot
saying
take.
I don't know if your mom did those type of things. I'm not going to say
No,
that
she
that's
didn't
the
burn
case.
me with
But what I'm
cigarettes.
saying is like,
She didn't make me sit in the closet.
no, okay. Especially the Elijah Wood version,
Oh,
got real
yeah.
rough.
Yeah, very rough.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't find that topic I enjoy. I don't know if they were going for like New York Ripper trying to create the next horror icon, but I think for me it was a miss.
Mm.
Plus, like they didn't do anything with it, so like they created the
Yeah.
serial killer and then they killed him. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, what are you gonna do from there? And just as part of that is my third con. Just the overall story flow, it's not cohesive. It was very broken up into vignettes, and
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I was like, even after watching it, I watched it on Saturday. I woke up Sunday morning. I was like, let me turn it on again because I felt like I didn't really understand the story. But and I was like, why don't I get it? Like, what is the story? What is the premise? What am I even gonna write down? What did I just watch? And so I went to go read the synopsis so I could get like a better feel of what the movie is about. And all it says is a psychotic man goes on a killing and mutilation spree in New York City. So like that's it. That's the story. And I guess like maybe I look for like a little bit more because like even look at our Jason. Like in the beginning, it was a little bit more of a backstory. It was like he was at this camp as a kid and they weren't watching him and mom was avenging him. So you got a little bit of like I'm eating potatoes, and I just felt like they were like, this guy has mommy issues, so he kills people.
Yeah. To your point, it is almost like there are two different sections of this movie because the front end of this movie is almost very much like just an exploitive film, where it's just this guy mutilating ladies and Tom Savini's head. But on the back end, when Anne comes in, then all of a sudden there's this like weird, maybe almost love story about to happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, and Frank, like we've never seen Frank try to be charming, but then all of a sudden he's having these conversations with this lady. He's never talked to anyone else like this. So yeah, to your point, like there is a bit of a fragment right there for sure.
Yeah.
I could see that.
That's it. Those are my cons.
Great. One of my biggest cons with this movie is the tension building, and especially like with some of the kills. The nurse death took forever. Like the whole cat and mouse thing through the streets, then down to the subway, into the bathroom. And it started getting boring before she got skewered. Like after he left the bathroom, it took her almost a full minute to walk from the stall to the sink to get killed. And it took forever. And the disco girl, like when he came back to the back seat to shoot her, like how long are you gonna point that gun in her face until you finally shoot her? Like get it fucking going. Let's go. So for kills that were great, I think the tension building up to them was a little, at least some of them anyways, was a big miss because they just like overstayed their welcome for me, I guess. And I don't know what's going on this season, but I feel like consistently I've been having issues with the ending of films this season because I got another movie I got a con about how the movie ended. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll go over it at the ending. But moving on, let's get to characters. Shelly, go through the laundry list of characters. What are your thoughts?
Well, yes. I mean, yeah, well, they're all about the same characters. A lot of
Yeah.
them just had generic names.
Mm-hmm.
Either they died or they didn't die. But for me, I actually really enjoyed the persona of Anna, enjoying the story. I think, like, she had such a kind heart, even for someone as creepy and gross as Frank. And, we could use a little bit more of that in the world. Not that it did her any favors, but
Yeah.
all in all, I really liked that brightness in this movie. And I think it was the one time where, like, okay, we can see Frank trying to be a little bit of a human, and like maybe
Yeah.
this lady is like genuinely interested in this man, or maybe she's just doing it to appease him or something. But
Just being a good heart. Yeah.
yeah. So Anna, I liked Anna. I can't say much about anybody else. They were so kind of like B characters.
Exactly.
Not a lot of meat in the ones that we were just scalping and killing.
Yeah. Just there to be meat on the screen. It's funny.
Exactly.
I definitely see your point where Anne is just like a good-hearted character, maybe a light in the darkness. Because I thought she was extremely naive. I mean, she just let this dude into her apartment after she took a picture of him, and the reason he found her is she has her information on a bag and just leaves it in the park while she goes takes pictures. And I was like, how is she still alive? Her good heart, I feel like, could get her in trouble. And I was just the way that she was just so open to let Frank into her house, and like they were even on the couch having a conversation, and he was like critiquing the reasons why she does photography. And I just thought, I was like, how bonkers that she is allowing this guy to sit on her couch and tell her that her reasons for taking pictures is for the wrong reason. So I guess I didn't look at the glass half full when I was looking at Anne. I looked at it half empty because I was nervous, because obviously we have a character who's just indiscriminately taking people out, and I was like, oh my gosh, Anne is just letting this guy right in. This is going to be crazy for her. So I was actually surprised that she got away. So good for Anne, I guess, in the end. But I will say about Frank, Frank is the best in the grossest, most vile way. And
No,
but
we
his
hate Frank.
I love Frank, but his sweaty ass kill face, or whatever you want to call it, during that hooker scene, I thought was like nightmare fuel. In my opinion, I think if you can be terrifying by just making a face and you don't have any like crazy prosthetics or effects, you're doing it right. And sometimes simple makes magic. I know his labored breathing was a lot, but I enjoyed it as like a murderous tick for his, because we knew he was like getting thirsty and ready to kill. So I liked that part of Frank.
No.
I wanted to leave that in, just the groan, the ugh, Frank.
So bad.
All right, let's go into dialogue. How'd you feel about some of the lines? Anything you wanted to chat about?
Well, a lot of it was groaning.
Yeah.
So I did really enjoy the one whore. What are they?
The hooker?
Hooker.
Oh, the
Hooker.
ultimate and all that stuff?
Yeah.
That was
Well,
great.
yeah, for $70, $5, I'll take you around the world. Yeah, that whole little conversation was fun.
But
I did enjoy some of the like dialogue when Frank was talking, kind of like as his mom and with his mom, and like having a conversation back and forth with his dead mother. But one of them was, now you tell me what I should do. I heard about it. I always do. I can't go out for a minute. It's impossible. Fancy girls in their fancy dresses and lipstick, laughing and dancing. Should you stop them? I can't stop them, but you do, don't you? And they can't laugh and they can't dance anymore. You gotta stop or they'll take you away from me. I will never ever let them take you away from me. You're mine now forever, and I'm so happy.
Oh.
So obviously he deals with the fact that his mom, although she was probably one of those girls, didn't appreciate her like those girls, and he's kind of like, that's all part of his killing fantasy. But
yeah, that's his wheelhouse. They fit this criteria, so it sets him off down this spiral, this rabbit hole of just insanity. But
exactly.
back to your point about the two hookers, I guess. But the ultimate, I was just like, what's? I think the around the world was one of the things. Around the world with French, which I'm pretty sure is sex with French kissing. I imagine that's a little bit more intimate, so that's probably more. And then ultimate, I was like, what is ultimate? I can't wrap my head around it. Because the other lady was like, the other guy gave me the ultimate in a way where I've never had the ultimate, and I was like, oh no. And she's a professional. She should know the ins and outs of everything.
Of the ultimate.
And some strange dude, he showed her something new. So yeah, crazy times in New York City in the 80s, I guess. Guys walking around doing the ultimate.
Doing the ultimate.
For me, I also had one of the moments where Frank is having one of his insane ramblings, but this was after his nurse victim, and he just said, now, it'll be all right. Look, it's just a little inconvenient. I know how upsetting it is, but it's just a little blood. It'll wash out. Look, you have to be more careful. Yes, getting very careless. Blood in your hair. In that scene, he was dressed up fancy almost. Like he had like a jacket on and like an ascot or whatever. And he had like fancy sunglasses. And he was almost speaking in like a feminine voice. And I don't know in that moment if he was like channeling his mother. Because like when he was having those moments, it's almost like he was talking back and forth between him and maybe her. But in that one, it stuck out a little bit more to me just because I felt like he was maybe embodying his mother in that moment and talking as like a caretaker for the lady he just murdered. So I thought that was an interesting dialogue instead of him talking about, having that conversation monologue back and forth between him and his deceased mother. Next up, we have favorite kills and or scares. Shelly, what do you got?
I mean, I think it's obvious.
Yeah.
The Tom Savini kill in the car. Very creepy. The whole, it was innocent at first, although she claimed to have a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
They were just going to make out a little bit, and then he slowly got his creepiness. She freaked out and said, we gotta go. Let's see. They get no sooner do they get in the front seat again. You kind of get that little bit of a jump scare.
Yeah.
And Frank jumps up onto the hood of the car, and then you get that beautiful shot of Tom Savini's head exploding, which is amazing.
Oh, so good. Such a fantastic scene.
Yeah.
I had that too, and I got some other stuff as well, but I actually wanted to insert a fun fact here, if you'll indulge me.
Well, I was just going to say, to
Go ahead.
wrap up, I did right here, if that isn't your favorite kill in the movie, I'm not sure which movie you watched.
Exactly.
So, that's my point there.
I put that kill up against any other kill in a movie, and it's gonna have a fighting chance if not winning that fight. So,
yeah.
But as like just a fun fact about that moment in the movie, much like a lot of the portions of this film that were shot, especially in the city, like they shot guerrilla style. And, that was just another moment. The crew, they set up permitless and were really they were at the Verrazano Bridge for that shot. And Savini was casted in that role specifically because he had a model of his head left over from Dawn of the Dead so they could destroy it. So
yeah,
they used a real shotgun. They used live ammo. And since this whole thing was extremely illegal in New York City, they had to be done in less than 30 seconds or 60 seconds, minute, whatever it was, so they could hightail it out of there. So they shot the scene. Savini was the one who pulled the trigger. He's the one who actually held the shotgun and blew his own head off. After the scene, they packed up, they got out of there. They hid the car in storage, and they were going to use it later for additional shots for Disco Girl, her demise. But when they went to collect the car later, the bits, because he had food particles in the head. I think he had condoms filled with blood, fake blood, all this stuff. So they didn't clean any of that. And when they went to pick it up, it was just completely unusable. So they just dumped the car into the Hudson River.
Yeah.
This is all according to Savini. It was some sort of documentary I was watching, but I thought that was so fucking crazy. They couldn't do anything with the car. They just dumped it in the Hudson. I was like, good Lord. One day, someone's going to find that car, and there's going to be a torso in it. They're going to think it's an actual murder scene.
Yeah, I mean, like, you kind of have to appreciate the grassroots of this
Oh, yeah.
overall movie when everything's said and done. It may not be my cup of tea, but they really hustled to get it done.
Oh, yeah. You don't talk about this film without talking about the shotgun blast scene, but a very close second, which, credit to this other scene, but Frank's karma at the end when the girls came back to life through the mannequins. And, Savini, again, showing what he can do with the mannequin victims. And the scene itself was like beautiful poetic justice. And all the blood and gore was capped off with the ripping off of Frank's head. It looked great. It felt great. It was like a 10 out of 10 moment. It just sucked. I'll talk about the ending. It just sucked how it ended. But that scene in itself was amazing. It was like, oh, sweet revenge for all these innocent women that got absolutely brutalized, and the guy who got his head taken off in the beach. He was on the floor down there. But yeah, it was good. It was good to see, and that was my second favorite kill.
Nice.
Let's get on into final cuts. And this is where I'll tell the ending of the film, and we discuss and give our ratings of 1 to 5 stabs. 1 stab, no redeeming value. 2 stabs, bad. 3 stabs, mediocre. 4 stabs, good. 5 stabs, masterpiece. While attending Anne's photo shoot, Frank steals a necklace of one of the models, Rita. Later, he arrives at Rita's apartment to give her the necklace, before then attacking her and tying her to the bed. Frank begins talking and addressing her as his mother and stabs her with a switchblade before scalping her for his collection. Sometime later, Frank takes Anne on a date, and they stop by a cemetery to visit his mother's grave. While laying some flowers beside the headstone, Frank begins to mourn over his mother as well as Rita and attacks Anne. He chases her around the cemetery, but she hits him in the arm with a shovel before fleeing. He hallucinates his decomposing mother attacking him from the grave, and he runs back to his apartment where he sees his mannequins suddenly coming alive. They mutilate Frank with his weapons before ultimately tearing off his head. The next morning, 2 police officers break into Frank's apartment and see Frank lying dead on his bed, having committed suicide by stabbing himself. After the officers leave, Frank's eyes suddenly open. The end. How'd you feel about the ending?
It's a little bit of a blur to me.
Mm-hmm.
When I watched the original one,
Yeah.
maybe I stopped paying attention. I actually sat there and I was like, did we actually finish the movie, Sherry? She's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure the credits ran. I was like, oh, well. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, I'm not a fan of Frank overall, so him getting his just dessert is appreciated. I do like how they ended the remake of Maniac better. Like, the way that was done was a little bit more, I don't know, entertaining maybe is the right word that kept my focus, but
there was definitely more thought into that.
Yeah. So that was kind of, I don't overall really remember it, but yeah, I remember him dying.
Yeah.
So, or not dying, but then never making another movie
dying.
about him again.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So, obviously, I'm not a fan of the fake out and oh, his eyes open. This isn't a new movie, so I won't fault it too much, but I'm just done with those eye openings at the end of movies. Wrap it up, let people die. Let's fucking wrap this up. So, yeah, I wish that the ladies getting their revenge, supernaturally, whatever it is, I wish that would have just been the ending. I wish we would have saw his head got ripped off and we got the cool Maniac, not title card, but end card, whatever you want to say. And then it was just wrapped up. So that's how I felt about the ending. Let's get on to our stabs. Shelly, stab it.
Yeah, again, it is 80s horror. I'm not overall a fan of the story and how it was put together, or the groaning. I really
Yeah.
I think I black out during a lot of it just because I'm like, I can't with any of it. So, it's not a movie that I gravitate towards, and I can say that since my first watch of it. It has not changed. that's my second watch. I will not pick this up if I'm looking for a good 80s horror movie to watch. There's others I would rather watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I am going to give it 2 stabs because there is
Ooh.
some good gore, some good kills.
Yeah.
I'm not going to demoralize it too much. We've got some redeeming value. So
Yeah, for those of us who are fans, and you're into the gore, like you're not,
yeah, I love
Yeah.
That's what we watched something. What was maybe something
Brain Dead or Dead Alive
no. Yes, we've watched all those
with the lawnmower scene at the end.
Yes. But it was something recently that we watched. That
Battle
said,
Royale.
I want. No. I'm not. No. You're not. You're missing my point.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
My point is, there was something we watched recently that didn't have enough gore for me. Maybe it was Talisman of Souls. I can't remember which one specifically.
Yeah.
But I go into a horror movie because I want to see that. That's what makes me uncomfortable. Gore and So this has that at least. So that's where I landed the 2.
Yeah. All right. It is not a perfect movie, but this is one of my favorite slashers. I love the dirty 80s New York aesthetic. And it felt grimy. Felt almost like a found footage, a gross snuff film that I shouldn't be watching. Had amazing kills. And I think if anyone's a slasher fan, they at least have to check it out for that. So I landed on a 4.5 for Maniac.
Wow, that's high.
It is, but it is seriously one of my favorite slasher films. And what's better than an 80s slasher? So it's high up there for me.
Other 80s slashers.
New York Ripper?
Yeah, no, there's other 80s slashers, Derek.
There's tons, but yeah, this is one of my favorite. Moving on, Voices from Beyond. This is where we share your guys' thoughts on the movies. Did you want me to jump in first with Jason's, and then you can do everyone else's?
Go for it.
Jason left us quite a couple paragraphs here, so we're going to go through. Obviously, Jason submitted the movie to us. We tried to get him to on the recording, couldn't happen, but just so you guys know, if that can't happen, we got tons of other ways for you to be included. Jason submitted his thoughts via message to us, so we'll share them now. But if you want to record, do an audio thing, whatever works for you, the ball's always in your court on these podcasts. So here's Jason's thoughts on Maniac. For me, Maniac is a massively underrated gem of horror making from the early 80s. Joe Spinell's love child, his performance is creepy and as close to perfect, encapsulating what most people identify as serial killer. His unorthodox style look is brilliant, capturing the essence of a deeply disturbed killer who, much like Ed Gein, is obsessed with his mother's memory, scalping women's hair and adding them to his macabre mix of mannequins in his little basement dwelling. The movie is really 2 parts. The first does a great job throwing viewers straight into the fire with multiple kills, showing the schizophrenic nature of Spinell's character, stalking women and couples, much like Son of Sam did when he terrorized New York City in the 70s, using a variety of methods to kill them before taking his prize scalps. His inner monologue, much like Gollum, talking to himself as 2 people, one being his domineering dead mother and the other weakened self. The second half, he befriends a pretty photographer as we see him attempt a normal relationship, only for his creepy side to expose him. We get a cameo from special effects maestro Tom Savini, who used a real shotgun to blow his head off in the movie. Personally, this is one of my favorite Savini effects moments, especially the ending where we see all of his former victims come back to life and literally tear him apart in a gory ending. In my opinion, Maniac is a must-see for all horror movie fans, a true classic in every sense of the word. 10 out of 10. The movie was also redone in 2012 in a very cool reimagination of it with all people, Elijah Wood. At first, I was leery of watching it as I have such a strong connection to the original, and Wood is the complete opposite style/look of the more unkept, unattractive vibe of Spinell. But I give it a watch and loved how they did it without tarnishing Joe's legacy, switching the movie to an all POV of the killer. Really well done. So that's Jason's thoughts on it. Giving a little nod to the remake like we spoke in the beginning. Very cool. And Jason, we only give 5 stabs on this, buddy. Come on. Tighten up. Tighten up, Jason. Jason gives a 5 out of 5.
There we go.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we discussed the whole Elijah Wood thing. It was
Yeah.
actually like curious to us that like why would he do such a movie? Because it's not in his normal realm. Especially being like the main killer in it and being so creepy and gross and whatnot. But you know, we speculated maybe he was a fan of the original movie, and
Yeah.
that's how he ended up with the remake. But
And he kind of looks like a mama's boy, Elijah Wood.
yeah, in whose opinion? Don't make fun of North.
North. Oh, I love North. Everyone always talks about Lord of the Ring movies, but I'm like, nah, North.
North.
That's where it really cut his teeth.
North and Cooties. There's no other option.
Cooties. That's right. All right, so I know we didn't have too many voices from our listeners, friends, whoever.
Yeah, we got a couple here.
What do we got?
We'll take a look. First up, we got Brian M. He said, I first watched Maniac years ago and remember feeling indifferent about it. I was hoping after another viewing, thanks to the Wheel of Death, trademark, my opinion would change. I remember giving American Werewolf in London and Nightbreed lower ratings in the past, but they've grown on me since. Not the case for Maniac, though.
Oh.
It's still just okay for me, with the main highlights being Tom Savini's always impressive special effects. And fun fact, he knew that he'd only have one shot, pun intended, at filming his character's death, so he did it himself and literally blew his own brains out. 3 stabs.
Okay, 3 stabs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Matt F. said, you could call this a classic, well, depending on one's definition of classic. It had it all for an 80s slasher pick, mommy issues, bad character development, I mean none. Scenes drawn out way too long and lots of blood. Some of the kills were amazing, along with the Chewbacca, Han Solo, McDonald's giveaway glass in Zito's apartment. Wish I would have found out what all of Zito's keys were for. All in all, enjoyed this movie. Thanks, Wheel.
Nice.
Interesting take there.
Yeah, maybe he's a janitor for the weird box apartments he lives in. Yeah.
Carrie W. said this movie is unsettling. It's very graphic and eerie. It's disturbing how real it felt. That scene of the lady running in the subway spiked my anxiety. I did like the New York setting, but Frank's mental status just triggered me and made me scared, which is what it was meant to do. I give it a 2 stab just because I don't want to be scared like that again. Carrie, you were so brave to watch it. So brave. Derek told me you were going to watch it. I was like, that's very brave of her.
It took us 2 nights.
You would typically watch.
It took us 2 nights to watch it. We got halfway through. Fair. We had to stop.
Take a break.
It was more because we were sleepy and not because we were terrified, though. Or Carrie was terrified. Fair. Yeah. But yeah, we got it done.
And then we have, good job. Quinlan D said, I appreciate Bill Lustig movies more than I enjoy them. Joe Spinell is well cast as our Taylor killer. The greasy, grimy vibes are perfect. Savini is clearly having fun, and that shotgun kill stands out as particularly memorable. I struggle with this Frank Zito having opportunities to connect with people the way he does, given his general appearance and insanity. I'm a big fan of the remake. Aja is one of the more entertaining horror minds. Elijah Wood is much more believable as someone who could create opportunities to be alone with women, and the killer POV really increases our awareness of Frank's madness. Most notable, the score for the 2012 remake by Frank DJ Robb is one of my top 5 favorite horror scores of all time. No joke, before you record, listen to a few tracks from the score and tell me it doesn't absolutely slap.
It absolutely slaps. When I checked it out, I was like, oh, man, Quinlan Wayne was not lying. And, you know, I gave props to Chataway for his work in this. But, yeah, that DJ Rob guy, like, it was perfect. And that music alone, I went to YouTube and I checked out a couple other tracks and very cool synthy pop stuff. So, yeah.
Nice.
Good job, Quinlan. Thanks for the recommendation.
And that's it. That's all we got.
Great. Yeah, guys, thanks for always sharing your thoughts with us. We appreciate it. And next up is Loose Ends. And this is where I go through some fun facts. So buckle up. I got some fun facts for you. You ready?
Oh, always. For your fun fact.
Yay. All right, so Gene Siskel was so disgusted by the infamous shotgun head explosion scene that he walked out of the movie, saying on his television show with Roger Ebert that the film could not redeem itself after the ultra-violence that he had seen. Another fun fact, the headless corpse in the end is the Betsy Palmer corpse, Jason's mother from Friday the 13th. And then the helicopter shots are recycled footage from Inferno. So, they borrowed from a couple previous movies to get this movie done, and I think that's super cool. So, good job on reusing some old stuff to to the boys. And then the movie, it was never given a rating by the MPAA. The filmmakers knew it would receive the dreaded X rating for the violence and gore contained, and simply refused to submit it for any review, because at the time it was easier for unrated films to be shown in theaters than X-rated ones, due to the latter always being seen as pornographic. So this movie, when it came out, it was just rated for adults. It didn't have an R, didn't have an X or anything, because they didn't submit it for rating. So I didn't know that you could even get around that stuff, so that's crazy.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. And then the last fun fact I have is Sharon Mitchell, who played the second nurse, founded the Adult Industry Medical Healthcare Foundation in 1988, which provided a mandatory HIV testing program for adult film stars. The AIM clinic eventually closed in 2011 following a data breach and subsequent lawsuits. But I thought that was cool. We had a hero in the midst of the movie, making the adult industry safer. So I wanted to give a shout out to Sharon Mitchell. So good job, except for the data breach thing. Good job.
Just not you, Alan Ormsby.
Yes, Alan Ormsby, you stay away. You stay in South Florida or wherever you are, sir. Good. We checked all the boxes. We talked about Alan Ormsby, so we're good. We're good to wrap this up.
There we go. Yeah.
What better way to wrap this up?
Exactly.
All right. And with that, guys, we got to move on. So up next is Wheel of Death. And let me grab the trick-or-treat bag because it's sitting in a closet and I forgot to grab it. Oh, good Lord. All right. Shelly, I'm putting my hands in the bag.
Yeah, get them in there.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
Get a good movie.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, so I grabbed a movie, and let's pull out what is replacing Maniac on the wheel. Oh, this is a viewer submission, and it's from Quinlan D, and it is Martyrs. Ooh. Brutal fucking movie. You've seen Martyrs before, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, it is.
I don't know. If I did, I don't remember.
It is violent. Let me go to the wheel, and I'm taking off Maniac, and we are putting on Martyrs. Awesome. And we're saving. And Shelly, are you ready for me to read off the 10 movies on the Wheel of Death?
I am ready.
All right. So first up, we have Zombie. Next is Heart Eyes. Then we got Chopping Mall. Then Hellraiser. The newly added Martyrs. Then we have Long Legs. Next is Brain Damage. Then we have Slay. Then Psycho Gorman. And wrapping up our wheel, Shelly, Deathgasm.
Yeah.
All right. So we have saved the wheel. And now we're going to go to the wheel. Are you ready, Shelly?
For the awkward delayed chanting for whatever
yeah.
reason, yes.
I did a pretty good...
I think
I fixed it. I fixed it pretty well. I think
it's just when you're using the wheel. Because there's no delay otherwise. It's only when we're chanting and the wheel's being spun at the same time.
There's a whole thing between the wheel going off and then with our headphones, us hearing each other and then syncing with like, the wheel. So that's the only thing. But I did a little bit of work on it. I don't want to call it magic because it's nothing close to. I clipped and moved it over like a centimeter. But
why don't you chant and I'll just clap?
We could do whatever we want. Clap.
There you go.
All right.
like
Here we
Wheel of Fortune.
Here we go. Wheel of Death. Wheel of Death. Wheel of Death. Wheel of Death.
I couldn't hear it spinning.
Next up, we have a listener submission. We have Psycho Gorman, which is Lisa, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Miss Lisa R.
Lisa R. So let's save this. So Psycho Gorman is next on the podcast. Shelly, where is Psycho Gorman playing?
Oh.
Any local theaters?
Hold on. Well, it's weird. It says
AMC's?
PG Psycho Gorman. Is there like different Psycho Gormans?
There's the one on Shudder. That's the one I know.
Oh, is it rated PG?
Let me get him.
Yeah, Psycho. I think this is it. Yeah, it's on Shudder.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it.
Oh, is it just Shudder?
If you have, AMC Plus look like it. You can rent it like on Apple TV or Prime Video.
Okay, cool.
Philo might have it, but AMC Plus and Shudder.
Maybe
you'd have to have.
I can check YouTube. Sometimes people rip stuff and put it on there. So if it's available on there, I'll share it out on our posts, and we'll do the thing.
All right, sounds good.
Awesome. All right, well, let's wrap this up. Next episode drops whenever we want it to. Don't miss out and tune in until the end of the season, where we'll be taking all the films we watched and have them battled out in our deathmatch tournament. If you listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please give us a rating and review if you like what we do. You can find us on Facebook and TikTok by searching Little Bracket of Horrors, and on Instagram by typing at Little Bracket of Horrors. We also have merch available at tpublic.com. Just search for our name in their website search bar or pay attention to our socials for a direct link. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I'm Derek.
I'm Shelly.
And we will catch you on the other side.
You have created a monster and it will destroy you. It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! The monster has been seen in the hills terrorizing the mountainside. I'm ready! I can take your torches and go!
Check, check, check. Check.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. My stomach's not feeling very good.
Oh, jeez.
But...
Did it just start today, or have you been dealing with something?
No, well, I mean, I've always got pain, so.
Yeah.
But this is like, I don't know. I took like an Imodium on Saturday, so I'm wondering if it's like.
Oh, yeah.
Usually, when you take Imodium, like it comes back to haunt you tenfold.
Yes.
So
you have to deal with the repercussions later.
Yeah, it's just like bad crampy, but it's making me nauseous, and
that sucks.
It's done. I'm done with it.
I hear you. It was funny, because Jason was saying he was dealing with the diverticulitis, and I was like, hey, we know that. We know what that's like.
Yeah.
All right, let's just jump into this and get it knocked out then, right?
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
All right. I'll go ahead and do the intro, and we'll jump in.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. It's rough.
I was so close to starting it. It would have been great to have your background just yawning. Yeah. Oh, great.
Yeah, and I might stop and groan if I have another cramp, but
oh no, I'm sorry.
We can do this.
Okay, cool. We'll muscle through together.
Yes, exactly.
All right. And we will catch you on the other side. Done.
Sorry, it's so fast and short, but I
No.
don't love that movie.
No, it's good.
I was like, I don't know what to say.
You have no idea how much I dread when we have like an hour 45 podcast and I have to go edit it. And I'm like, for fuck's sakes. I'm like, no. It's going to
This is a
take me
fast
forever.
one.
So these
Yeah.
short, I mean, we're at an hour 2 minutes. So it'll probably end up being like 55 minutes, something like that, after I do some editing and shit. So that's a sweet spot. That's a good spot.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, I hope your tummy is feeling better and
Yeah.
you
See what
feel
happens.
mend. Yeah. Okay. All right, love. We will talk to you later, and
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, I'm sure we'll run into each other Saturday.
Yeah, hit me up.
Yes.
So,
okay.
I can come find you guys.
Yep, for sure.
All right.
Later.
Cool. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.